Good morning. Welcome to today's episode of Morning Tea with Mimi. My name is Miracle. This is a dash of colors. This is a self-help channel for everybody who's trying to put their life all together. This is our safe zone, and if you're a consistent listener, I'm sure you know that by now. So thank you so much for the support and for listening again this morning. If you are a first-time listener, welcome. Do not forget to follow this podcast on Audiomack, or if you're listening on Spotify or on Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts, do not forget to subscribe. Why do I always talk about subscribing? Subscribing is very important because it allows them automatically send you episodes when it says uploaded. So whether you find the link or not, once you have subscribed, it is very easy for you to have access to the podcast. Okay, so today let's talk about the future and the present. And for someone who is very deep in overthinking, this is one of the major things that I have lived with all my life. I spend the bulk of the time obsessing about the future, and that's how most people are. I don't blame anyone who is stuck in a place where they are constantly worrying about what could happen, what would be their fate, or what the future holds for them. Because we have been told several times that we have to figure out life, that we have to decide how we want life to be, and then make sure it becomes like that. But life is full of uncertainties, and we will always encounter bumps, and sometimes these bumps can heal, sometimes they can destroy. But what's more important is that we realize that the future is not even as important as people has made us believe. And this is what I mean. Every single day, we get out of bed and we dash out of our house because we want to work. We want to become millionaires. We want to become billionaires. And each day, we go through untold hardship just to achieve this. And we go through the craziest. And it's very easy for us to lose ourselves to the fact that the future is all that matters. And then in the present, we are totally absent. One thing that I have learned to say to myself is, what if you have everything that you've always wanted? What if you wake up tomorrow and you have your own apartment and you have all the money in the world and you have all the cars in the world and you are famous? What will happen to you? And then I realized how empty I would be because I would have no process. I would be empty basically because I have lived most of my time obsessing about having these things, and then even in the present I couldn't even be happy. I couldn't enjoy my life. I couldn't enjoy the things that are all around me every other day. So how do we stop obsessing about the future? I know that this is very different from all we've been told all our lives, but I'm going to say that now because yes, that's the truth. The future is not important. What's important is the present, because that is what counts. The process of getting to the future, that is the present. And we have to learn to be in it, to grow in it, to learn, to have fun, to enjoy it, to cry when we should, to be miserable when life throws bombs at us. But then that is all part of it all. So that when we eventually arrive at the destination of life that we want to have, we can say, I went through the process of this. I went through this experience. I am grateful for this experience. So the future is usually the reward for all the things that we had to go through. It is usually the end results, and results are not important. Processes are important. So how do we stop obsessing over the future? How do we live more in the present? The first thing to do is to practice mindfulness. You need to realize that what matters is the now, and learn to stay in the now. So when you are always worrying about if you're ever going to have the money to take care of your family, if you're going to ever have the money just like your peers to build a house for your parents, you rob yourself of the happiness and the joy that lives with being present. Because all the times that you could be focused on doing things that are really important for you, you are constantly overthinking the future. So one of the ways that you can practice mindfulness is to embark on meditation. Sometimes in a day, shut off every other thing around you and then be calm. Try not to think about anything. Try not to worry about anything. Just stay there for a while. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, but shut out the world as much as you can. And stay there. Stay in the calmness. Stay in, bask in how peaceful that moment is. So I'm not saying that this is automatically going to fix everything. I'm saying that this would always remind you that at the end of everything that you are the most important, and where you are right now is what is the most important phase of your life. Another thing we could do is find or back up whatever problems that you have with proper actions. Let me explain better. So we spend the bulk of the time obsessing about how our future is bleak. Maybe because we do not have a good job, or maybe because life had happened to us, or maybe because we've lost big time, or we've lost someone, or anything like that. So when you find yourself obsessing over how something that happened to you had impacted you, and then you are scared of the future, what I would advise is, instead of staying there to overthink about the future and how dark it has become, you should learn how to make actions or how to make better decisions. Okay, so focus on getting yourself out of that place. That is what is important. Yes, you have been hurt. Yes, you are broken. Yes, you are whatever. But you need to focus on getting yourself out of that place. So brainstorm ways in which you can turn things around and make the best out of what you have every single day. Take action on those things that are hurting you and fix it, basically. So instead of worrying, we are fixers. So yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys. I just hope that I was able to communicate that the future is not as important as we have been told. What matters are the choices in the present and how we are living mindfully in it. It is just like compounding interest when it comes to investments, right? We are looking at how much money we make from putting back what we have made and reinvesting it over and over and over. So it is those choices, those times that are more important than the bulk of the money that might come from these investments in a few years to come. So live in the present as much as you can, because the future only brings anxiety. Do not forget to subscribe to the Telegram community and to the podcast. Follow this podcast on Audiomack if that's where you're listening. Then also you can subscribe on Telegram, subscribe on Google Podcasts, subscribe on Spotify, and every other platform that you may prefer. Thank you for listening, guys. See you tomorrow morning. My name is Mimi. This is A Dash of Colors. Have a nice day.